All right, let's now see what is the strategy or what is the method for memorizing numbers. Now, unlike words and images, numbers are slightly challenging. So let's see how we are going to be making it easy and what is going to be the exact method for doing this. So let me once again open the sheet. We'll go to our website, memoryjambori.com. So it is aidev.memoryjambori.com. And once again, we'll go to in the practice test, we'll go to 5-minute numbers and we scroll down and go to start. Now, what is the problem exactly that we face over here and how are we going to solve it? So the problem with numbers is mostly people find it difficult to memorize numbers. Why? Because numbers are hard to visualize. See, when we did images, images are pictures right in front of us and they are easy to remember. When there was words, again, we could create images of words inside our head and again, we could memorize. But numbers do not have any images, do not have any pictures, and thus they become difficult. Now, let's do a small thing over here. See, whenever let's understand the concept of memory. Whenever you try to think of something, you always think in terms of images and pictures. Like, for example, I want you to right now think of a mountain. And when I say think of mountain, what comes to your mind? It comes a peak mountain, maybe filled with snow, long trees, or the curvy roads. That's what we see, right? That's what we imagine when we think of mountain. When I say, okay, think of a tree, what comes to your mind? You think of a tree with a big trunk and leaves and birds, everything visual. You never say TREE. You never say MOUNTAIN. When I said think of mountain, you never thought of its spelling. You never thought of the spelling of tree because we are visual. We think in pictures. So when pictures are there for anything, it becomes easy. But if pictures are not there, it will be difficult. Now, in case of numbers, there are no pictures. When I say 67, what is it? Nothing. It is the shape of 6 or 7. When I say 0, 0 is what? It's the shape. It's like an alphabet, the shape of the digit, but there is no image associated. And that is why whenever we try to do number memorization, if you do without any memory strategy, you would be doing rote learning. Okay. If you're doing reading it repeatedly and again, you would be doing rote learning. And when you will do rote learning, there is certain limit. You will not be able to go beyond that. But if we convert numbers into images, then the method is going to be much easier. You will be able to memorize much more. You know why? Because if you'll see the champions, let me just show you what the champions do. So this is the same sheet in which Delhi Memory Championship performance are recorded. So Dr. Muthu Prabha, she was the first, she came first in the championship. Numbers, she did 140 digits in 5 minutes. Can you do that with the help of just rote learning? You will not be able to do. Aradhya was able to do 130 digits. Subhash Reddy was able to do 70 digits. This is possible only if you are doing with the help of images for the numbers. Now we will see how to make images for the numbers. So let's understand the concept of creating images for numbers. It's a very easy and simple technique. I'll show you that. And yes, I'm here. Right. So here we will understand an interesting concept of memory pegs. What are memory pegs? So memory pegs are nothing but the hooks, right? Hooks on which we hang things. So just as we hang things on in our house, same way, memory pegs are something on which we can hang information. Okay, let's see what they are. So let's move on to memory pegs. Look at these pictures. I'll just leave it on the screen and for 10 seconds. Do you see any similarity between these images and numbers? There's a pencil, there's a swan, there's a butterfly, there's a chair, a seahorse, there's a whistle, axe, snowman, punching glove, and a donut. Do you see any resemblance with the number? If you are able to, you are so lucky, you are creative. If you're not, I'll help you out. Look at this number one. One looks like a pencil. Okay, so these numbers are actually these objects are actually how the numbers look. So one is like a stick, it looks like pencil. Two, what does it look like? Two looks like a swan. So if you'll actually look at it, it looks like swan. What does three looks like? 3 looks like a butterfly. So I can actually see a 3 in butterfly, right? So 3 is a butterfly. 4, what does 4 look like? 4 looks like as if a chair has been inverted. This is an inverted 4. It looks like a chair. 4 looks like a chair. 5, what does 5 look like? A seahorse gives the feeling of 5, right? So 5 is a seahorse. 5 looks like seahorse. 6, what does 6 looks like? 6 looks like a whistle. Have you seen a whistle? You blow a whistle, you see your PT teacher blowing whistle. That is what is 6. So 6 looks like a whistle. Excellent. 7, 7. What does it look like? 7 looks like an axe. 7 looks like an axe. So 7 is axe. What is 8? 8 looks like an snowman. So 8 looks like a snowman. 8 is a snowman. 9. What does 9 look like? 9 looks like a, sorry. What happened? Yeah. So 9 looks like a boxing glove, right? So 9 looks like a boxing glove. Wonderful. Moving on to the next one. We are once again. So 9 looks like a boxing glove. Moving on to the next one. 0. 0 looks like a donut, right? So 0 looks like a donut. So all the numbers, what do they look like? They look like some or the other shape. So if you'll see, 1 looks like pencil, 2 looks like swan, 3 looks like butterfly, 4 looks like chair, 5 looks like a seahorse, 6 looks like a whistle, 7 looks like an axe, 8 looks like a snowman, 9 looks like a boxing glove, 0 looks like a donut. Okay, now this is something which you'll have to note it down somewhere. So I would want you to note it down. You may pause the video and note it down. So these are the memory pegs. These are look alike memory pegs, meaning these objects look like numbers. Pencil looks like 1. Swan looks like 2. So I would want you to pause the video and write them down. So instead of numbers, we can actually think of these objects. Okay, so these are look alike memory pegs. Let's move ahead. And I have another screen. Have a screen of these objects: bun, shoe, tree, and so on. Do you see any link between these images and numbers? Have a look. So it's a bun. I'll leave you for 5 seconds. See if there's any link between these numbers and these images and numbers. Great. Could you find? If you could, you are lucky and you are creative. If you could not, I'm going to help you. Let's see what that is. So let's read these objects. Okay. 1 bun. 1 bun. Wonderful. Let's move ahead. 2 shoe. So second is 2 shoe. Third is 3 tree. Are you able to see what I'm doing? I have created the rhyming words for the numbers. So 1 was bun, 2 was shoe, 3 is tree, 4 is a door, 5 is hive. Hive is what? Where the honeybees live, right? 5 is hive. 6 sticks. 6 sticks. Wonderful. 7 is heaven. Heaven, where fairies, angels live, God lives. 7, heaven. 8 is plate. So what is 8? 8 is plate. 9, 9 is a line. 9 is a line. Wonderful. Then 0 is hero. So what have we done? We have created another set of objects which are rhyming like the numbers. In the previous case, we created look-alike objects. Now we have created the rhyming object. So we have now 2 sets of objects for your numbers. I would want you to once again visualize them or note them down, right? I'll just give you the screen and I want you to note them down. Pause the video and note down all these objects. So we have 2 now, look-alike and memory. So look-alike is what? 1. For 1, we can use pencil. For 1, we can also use bun. For 2, we can use swan. For 2, we can also use shoe. 3 is butterfly. 3 can also be tree. 4 is chair. 4 can also be door. 5 looks like seahorse. 5 sounds like hive. 6 looks like whistle, but 6 sounds like sticks. 7 looks like axe, but 7 sounds like heaven. 8 looks like snowman, but 8 sounds like plate. 9 looks like punching glove. 9 looks like lion. 0 looks like donut. 0 rhymes with hero, right? So now we've got 2 objects for all the single digits. There is one more. If you need, you can use them or you can just work with 2. So I'll just share with the third one also. Look at these pictures. Do you see any link between these images and numbers? So there's a sun, there's a socks, there's a traffic light, button, there's a star, and so on. I'll leave you for 10 seconds. See if you can find the link between these objects and the numbers. All right. So could you guess what the images were? If you could, that means you are quite creative and you are so lucky. If you're not, I'll tell you what they are. So let's look at these objects. Sun. There is only one sun. We have only one sun. When we buy socks from the market, we get 2 in a set. Okay, so we get 2 socks in a set. 3, traffic light. The main lights of traffic light are only 3. The traffic light has got 3 colors. 4, a button has got 4 holes. Do you see what I'm doing over here? Now I'm seeing those objects which have the value of these numbers. So sun is 1. Socks we always buy in 2, in a pair, 2. Traffic light has got 3 colors. Buttons, majority of the buttons have got 4 holes. Star has got 5 points. A dice has got 6 sides. Rainbow has got 7 colors. Octopus has got 8 legs or 8 tentacles. A tic-tac-toe has got 9 boxes, 9 places. 0, the value of 0, what is the value of 0? A tone note is a 0 value, right? 0 value. What has a 0 value? The 0 value. At the fatawa note, the tone note, the fake note is a 0 value. So the third one, we have created objects for numbers are in the form of values. So we have created 3 memory pegs for numbers. First, but that looks like number. Second, that rhymes like number. And 1 which has the value of that number. So meaning we have got 3 sets of objects for each number. So 1 can be a pencil, a bun, or even a sun. For 2, it is a swan, a shoe, and a socks. For 3, it is a butterfly, a tree, and even a traffic light. 4 is a chair, door, and a button also. 5 looks like seahorse, sounds like 5 hive, and 5 corners in a star. 6 looks like whistle, 6 sticks, 6 sides of a dice. 7 looks like axe, 7 sounds like heaven, and 7 colors in the rainbow. 8 looks like snowman, 8 rhymes with plate, 8 tentacles of octopus. 9 looks like punching glove, 9 rhymes with line, 9 points or boxes in a tic-tac-toe. 0 looks like donut, 0 rhymes with hero, and 0 is a bad note. The 0 value is bad note, right? Now, to do number memorization, these pegs, memory pegs or objects are going to come very handy. This is level 1. Trust me, there is one more, even more powerful method called morphing method, which we are not doing right now. Why? Because it becomes a little challenging to jump onto that. First, we will work with morphing. So at level 1, I want you to work with this. Now, how to do that? We will do it in the next video. So right now, what I want to do as an exercise is write down all the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, and all the objects that you have learned for them. What rhymes with that? What looks like that? And what has got the value of that? Okay. And in the next video, we'll see how we will use these memory pegs to actually do the memorization.